June and Larry the Larynx. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, tell me first, what is a vocal nodule?
That is a great question. So vocal nodules are calluses on your vocal cord. So just like you can get calluses on your hand, I actually have them right now. Good for me, I've been working out. I have calluses on my hand from lifting weights. If I lifted weights once a week, my skin would have time to heal and I probably wouldn't get a callus. But if I'm doing it every day and that skin never gets a chance to heal, I'm gonna build calluses. The same thing can happen on your nodules. So if this is my right on your vocal cords.
Sure.
This is my right vocal cord and this is my left. They sit right on top of my airway. Every time I go to speak, those vocal cords have to come together and they have to vibrate.
Okay.
Well, if they're constantly working, constantly vibrating in the same point, let's say you're shouting, let's say you're somebody that's using your voice all the time and you're never getting that chance to rest.
Been Mardi Gras for 2 weeks.
Exactly. If it's been Mardi Gras for way too long, you will eventually get some inflammation and these calluses will form on your vocal cords the same way they will your hands.
Can they go away the same way?
Yeah. However, it's a lot harder to just be like, I'm not going to talk and my vocal cords, they'll heal.
Yeah.
You have to be able to talk and it's important to continue talking, but there's a way that you can talk that's cost efficient. And the way we do that is by exhaling while we're speaking. That's the most cost efficient way to speak.
I need to try that. That feels so nice.
Doesn't
Try
it?
it at home. Try talking while you're
Take a breath in
exhaling.
and make sure you're exhaling as you speak. It's a weird concept to think about how you're talking because we're usually thinking about what we're saying. And I've been doing voice therapy for, oh my gosh, like 10 years now. And one frustrating thing I keep running into when I'm working with kids is I'm like, I don't have any materials to help these kids understand what I'm trying to teach them. They don't know what's going on with their body. And it's hard for even adults to understand it. So I was like, let me just take matters into my own hands.
About the inspiration. So you've been doing voice therapy. That helps children and adults?
Yes, yes. So adults can have voice problems and so can children. And what's happened to me over the years is people would come to me and be like, my kiddo's got vocal nodules. I don't know where to send them. I know you do voice therapy. And it was actually my niece that inspired this book because she had vocal nodules and I was trying so hard to help her. And she actually has a great voice now, no more vocal nodules. And that's what, she is the character, June, in this book.
Okay, so Captain June for
Captain
your
June.
niece, and Larry the Larynx,
Yeah.
who helps the kids learn about vocal nodules. You know, I can see how this would be an amazing book for even kids who are not struggling, just so they can maybe understand what some of their friends could be going through.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great one, I think, for any speech therapist that works with children and has the occasional kid with vocal nodules. Sometimes we have our wheelhouses as speech therapists, so sometimes you might get that kid and you're like, oh, vocal nodules, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this kid. And it's like, oh, we can read them this book because this is what will explain what's going on with their anatomy.
And probably help explain to the parents, too.
Exactly. Then the parents can read this to them at night or they can read it themselves and that will help with generalization, help things like actually sink in. I just think it'll make life easier.
So as a mom of 5 kiddos who all have different voices and different inflections and things like that, what do you notice in a kid who has vocal nodules? Like, what would make you start to worry about that?
Well, you would hear in their voice. You would hear that their voice sounds like a little raspy.
Okay.
You can kind of even hear me today. I'm like getting over a cold. You can kind of hear, but if that raspiness, that hoarseness is going on for longer than 2 weeks, that would be something you'd want to look into with them. Or if they're complaining to you, they're getting home from school and they're like, I feel tired, like my throat hurts, or I just feel like I don't want to talk anymore. I feel vocally tired. If they're coming home and saying that every day, it's like, why are you vocally tired? Or, are you dealing with something in there that's making you kind of use extra muscles to squeeze to get the sound that you want when you're at school? That would be an indicator too.
So interesting. Okay, we are almost out of time, but where can folks get Captain June and Larry the Larynx?
Amazon.
Get it right on Amazon. So easy. Thank you so much for
Thanks
joining
for having
us.
me.
And thank you for writing this book for kiddos with vocal nodules. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Well, stick around. We are learning about judo bots for Science Friday. That's right after the break.